Good morning. Great. Thank you so much. Boy, that was quick. I do appreciate the attention. So, my name is Sheila Dillon, and I'm Chief of Housing for the City of Boston, and we are so happy that you are here with us today. I can't say that enough. Thank you for all that have come out. It's a really busy time of year. You've left your families and all these activities to be with us today. And I want to thank you. I've had a great time this morning hearing some of your stories, meeting you, and just really validating how important all of this work is. I really want to thank you, though, because I just heard how this is a lot of work to buy a home, and you filled out lots and lots of paperwork. I promise to look at that and see if we can streamline some of it. But you've worked really, really hard. And even after you got into your homes, there's been work that you've had to, surprises, there's work that has had to be done. So I just am so appreciative of everything that you have put in to buying a home here. Increasing home ownership is absolutely a commitment of this administration. Mayor Wu just joined us. She's sitting next to Administrator Bach, who is also really working with public housing tenants to help them realize this. And this year alone, we have assisted just shy of 250 households, families, to buy their first home. And I give yourself a round of applause. And we've done this there's home buying classes and lots of technical assistance and lots of questions answered, but probably most importantly, you've gotten down payment assistance and access to very low cost mortgages. They probably don't feel low cost, but lower cost than the market. And we've been able to do that because Mayor Wu and this administration has really prioritized and made the money available. And while financial assistance is really important, we know that it's only important if we can put it to good use and you all can find homes that you can afford. So for folks that have bought in the market, thank you for continuing to believe in Boston and really looking for something that suits your family, that's good for you, that you want to put down roots, and that you can afford. And we know that a lot of folks can't buy in the market, so we've been working really, really, really hard to build more affordable homes for our families. I was looking at numbers this morning before I came over, and we've completed or we have finished about 700 homes that people can afford in Boston with a very, very large pipeline ahead of us. So we really are making this a very important commitment. Before I close, I do want to give a big shout out to the Boston Home Center. Director Rabaz is here. And there's many Boston Home Center here employees that are here. Also too, and I know that Administrator Bach will do this, but I really want to appreciate and shout out the Boston Housing Authority staff that are helping their residents buy homes. So give it up for them as well. So with all of that, I want you to walk away that not with a bunch of numbers, but that this is really a commitment of this administration. And please get the word out. Let your families and friends know that we are here to help, that we have resources, that we want to really increase the home ownership rates in Boston. But with that, I will close and invite up our mayor, Mayor Wu.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I am so happy to see you all here. I'm so honored to join you. It's the weekend, so I know everybody has a lot on your plate and is running around. And so the fact that you took the time to spend some of your very special time with us means a lot. As a mom, I'm also on weekend duty, so my son is floating around somewhere. I have no idea where, but it takes a village. So if you see him, let's just make sure he stays in the room. And most of all, thank you to all of the amazing people who made today possible. Our incredible staff and team, led by our Chief of Housing, Sheila Dillon. Thank you, thank you. Administrator Bach, working on the affordable housing from the perspective of our BHA and all the many, many families, 10,000 families that we are blessed to have in our community there. Thank you to you and your team. The Boston Home Center, as was already mentioned. Thank you for all of your work every day. And most of all, to our residents, our new homeowners who we know you've already been giving so much to our community, and that with the roots, the stability, the energy that you bring, our neighborhoods are going to be even better off because you are there. Thank you for being here with us today. So, as Chief Dillon mentioned, we're trying to do a lot, everything we can when it comes to making Boston a home for everyone. And so it's been a steady run of trying to make sure every possible way we are supporting people becoming homeowners, renters staying in their homes, creating new housing, improving our processes. Even just earlier this week, we announced the launch of a brand new fund that's meant to take apartments that are currently market rate apartments where the tenants and families are worrying at any moment about when that next increase might come or what might happen if the building changes owners, and to be able to take those apartments, take them off the speculative market and make them permanently affordable. We've already done that for 1,000 homes, 1,000 families through that program, and our pledge is to go even further with a new fund that we've now teamed up with some of the major anchor institutions, healthcare and philanthropy organizations in Boston. We are also every day working to make sure that our processes are working as smoothly as possible. So the feedback that you all have given in how to make what you've all just gone through easier goes a long way for the next family to be able to have their dream come true, and again to be part of this incredible community that we're so lucky to have in Boston. We have, under Chief Dillon's leadership in just the last few years, permitted more affordable housing than in the last 25 years in Boston. And our Boston Housing Authority is, for the first time in decades, looking to add to the count of our public housing units with a program through the federal government. And so Administrator Bach is busy making plans for another nearly 3,000 units to be added, and we're working on that over the next few years as well. So we're not done, but today is a major milestone to be able to celebrate with all of you, because you are what makes this real. We can talk numbers all that we want. We can talk budget and dollars and closing documents. But at the end of the day, this is about families. Real people, neighbors, loved ones who now are staying here, who can grow and build wealth, put down roots, and blossom in the communities exactly where you belong. As Sheila mentioned, more than 230 residents purchased homes here in Boston in partnership with our first-time homebuyer program. That's people like Sandy. Where is Sandy? People like Sandy, who was set on staying in Boston so her kids wouldn't have to say goodbye to their friends and could continue attending the school they love so much. People like Amanda, who worked so hard to pursue every possible opportunity to find the perfect house for her and her 2 kids, and thanks to this program, now has a beautiful home in Hyde Park. And I hear your daughter is settled right in and right at home immediately. That's a magical feeling, and one that every family should have. I've known in different periods of my life what it feels like to move around and kind of keep going and looking and shift around year after year for a bit. And when you finally get to a place that you can call your own, there's nothing like that feeling of settling in and realizing that this can really be your home, your community. That's what drives our work and fuels our mission to make Boston home for everyone. To make stories like Sandra's, Amanda's, Ibelice's, and Damali's possible. We want to make this the most common story, buying your first home here in Boston as a convenient and achievable dream. So once again, I want to thank the entire team at the Boston Home Center for helping so many families get to this point, for those home buyer education classes, down payment support, closing cost assistance, for helping out with home improvements, energy efficiency, and accessibility. Your incredible work at the Boston Home Center has helped nearly 700 families find the perfect place to call their own. And I hope for everyone that your Just a little token from the city, your housewarming amaryllis bulbs bring joy and color to your new homes, but most of all, that you continue to be engaged with everything that you are doing, we're doing at the city. So now that you are firmly here in the community, we expect you to get involved. We're going to be reaching out. There's lots of issues that we have to work on. There's lots of parks and libraries and schools, and we can't wait for you to be in partnership with us on all of that. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you do, and thank you for how hard you have worked to get your family to this point. Now it is my honor to pass it to someone who worked really hard to get here even just this morning because she had a flat tire and found a way to get here anyway. Ibelis Miletti, new homeowner with the Boston Home Center.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I know I would have some help from Maria Angeli. She offered to, because I speak from the heart. I'm from the Dominican Republic, and as a famous artist said, my English is not very good looking, but I'm gonna keep trying. So I'm gonna go bilingual, Spanish and English. It's such an honor to be here with you, and thank you. We all have and found roadblock, but what we do as a resilient, we just jump on it and keep going. So that's what I do. Thanks to Uber who drive me here. ¿Quieres venir? And I'm very Spanish, yeah. So I'm gonna try, and then when I get stuck. So 25 years ago, my sister invited me to live in a city where she found love, La Bodega, and the mangoes. I don't know if you know the mangoes. They're very tasteful, very deliciosos from Bani. And when she said that, I was living in Barcelona in Spain, and she asked a question, what have you found there? And I paused. And I said, well, I found some what I came to look for, which was one of my roots, my heritage. We are mixed in the Dominican Republic from Europe and to the Caribbean. But when she mentioned La Bodega and the mango, I'm like, no, I need to move and be where you found that closeness to home. Eso que te acerca al corazón. And okay, thank you. She's a brave one like me. So when she said that 20 years ago, I knew that I'm gonna be moving to Boston. And accomplishing, well, as an immigrant, we don't find home. We don't find the comfort sometimes. We have the family and we have those ties. Tenemos esas raíces, but we don't find that security that when you look ahead, day in, day out, when you know the future is there, that you need that security, that you need to be seen. And that's what you found in cities that are a melting pot, que son ese grupo de personas, that grupo or someone that it look the same, but it's unique, that speak multilingual with an accent, that some people say, where are you from? And you proudly say, I'm from the DR, but I call home Boston. And then moving 20 years to 3 or 4 months ago, I was in a meeting, and the amazing team of Maria Angeli and people in the city of Boston that see us and want us to learn and see what we've been up to after being named as an extraordinary woman. There was a few there, and alongside by me. And the mayor came this evening and wanted to hear our story. She knew who we are, but she wanted to have that one-on-one touch. And I said, Mayor, just the thought, el pensar que me mudo de Boston, it made me sick. I don't know if you remember that. And I said, going back then, a few years ago, I was one of those that when Maria Angeli and the team that was running campaign, those amazing people that knew that Boston, it would be a better, from being great, to be a better city, having a mayor, a female, a woman that stand by males and female, and that wanted to do more for this melting pot city. And I said, Mayor, I remember you mentioned that you will be creating more opportunity for housing, either private or subsidized housing. And I've been searching for a home, and I wanted it to happen in the city of Boston. And I've been driving all across the state. En todo el estado estaba buscando mi casa. But every time that I was leaving Boston, the city, those roads that sometimes you can see arreglados y que no tan arreglados, but you see the traffic jam because there's a construction guy, because there's something there making the city a vibrant, good city. It was making me sick. And I said, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave from Boston. And then something that I mentioned, and I'm proud to say, algo importante que le dije a Maria Angeli, she's not only an amazing woman, she's someone that you can call and she will answer the phone. And she will find somebody that, even if your problem seems big, with her voice and her comfort, I have to say that. I cannot say that I do it alone. She will listen and she will find. So I tell the story because I was married, then divorced, and you know how that goes, right? They call it life. So I lost a few security that I create through hard work. And then I found the amazing people who provide those vouchers, the subsidy vouchers, which are amazing. Yes. Proud to say. Don't be scared if you need help, seek for help. And then I started working back again, making a good income. And I said, you know what? I've been told that I'm making too much money, that I need to move out. I said, but I'm not moving out of Boston. And a few other things happened there, right? And I said, what you call, that is something that is in the ventaja, disadvantage, I'm going to put it to work to the advantage. And then I learned about the 1+ program. And then I learned that it's part of the Boston Home Center. And I fight because the bank were not understanding those programs, neither do I. Yeah, neither do I. It was such, en ese, ahora sí te necesito, en ese tumulto, en esa discomfort, en todo eso que es pensar en comprar tu casa, que es un reto. Yeah. It's a challenge.
She's talking about the chaos and the difficulties of purchasing a home.
Todas esas ideas y todo eso que estás pensando realizar se convierte en un proyecto inalcanzable.
And those ideas and that wish becomes a dream that feels impossible to reach.
And then when you find a bank that they're pursuing their interests, which is amazing, ¿verdad? Son interesantes. Yo fui banquera también. Pero they don't understand the complexity of working all together with a meter salary, right, from hard worker people, to pursuing a dream to be in a city that it's among the list of the most expensive, I believe so. Boston is a very expensive city, but it's full of people that wanted to live in the city because el calor que se siente aquí y la diversidad, y además una ciudad conocida en todo el mundo. It's a city well known all around the world, so we all want to be part of the good. And then pursuing this whole buying, the first time home buying situation can be very scary, ¿verdad? Muy intimidante. And that's when I said, I had to pause and put an education piece to work, okay? So I went to the first time home class seminar by an amazing, there's so many good agencies that provide that, but I found one of the best. And then they train you to understand, but still, I couldn't put it all together. And then it was when I reached out directly to the center, and I found William. I don't know where he is. Maria Angeli, this guy, you have to keep an eye on it. When you are lost, kind of confused, and everything is start clicking in, and you found a puzzle, and then you find compassionate people that are born to do that job, to navigate with you when you need those answers, that's when you feel, okay, this is not just a scam or something that near so good, that here so good to be true. It's a program that is here that was put a lot of thoughts behind to clicking with your salary, which is probably not the most big one to be in a city that is so expensive, but it's a lift to combine your income with your dream. And that's how I land buying a home in Boston. Took me years, 2 years, day in, day out, but I'm resilient. As you hear, I got a flat tire and I still get to places. I don't take no for an answer. And I thank the mayor and the team for listening to our concern, for understanding that we all have an equal opportunity, and that we can live with dignity, that even if we are receiving some subsidy, which is amazing. I mean, I couldn't do it without having the poof left again, and then putting programs and having a team that navigate with all, when you are full of questions, when you are full or not understanding, lack of education. Those resources need to be, I don't say, un billboard somewhere there so we can understand how to navigate them and how to combine them to make your home, to find your home in a city that you knew it was your home, but it was missing those roots. So I appreciate everyone and congratulate all of those that are resilient and pursue. It can happen, and it happened in the city of Rosendale. So I appreciate you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Damali Omalade, and I was called a couple of days ago by Brian to speak. I'm a new homeowner. I purchased my home in May of this year, and since he called me, I'm just thinking what would be the most impactful to share with you guys, and I think it's just my journey. So at 18 years old, I graduated high school and I went to UMass Amherst for a year. That summer, hat off, I was having fun and I was going to go back to school, but I just didn't feel too good. And I went to the doctor and they said, "Ma'am, you are pregnant." Well, this has changed the game. So I didn't know what to do. I didn't have any family here, but I was going to keep my baby. That was my choice. And so at 19 years old, I gave birth to my daughter, Renee. And moved into a homeless shelter. I was there for about 2 years. And during that time, I met some amazing people that poured into me and encouraged me to let me know that I didn't have to let my circumstances define what my goals were. And so I started taking classes at Roxbury Community College. And I graduated. It took me 10 years. I got my associate's degree after 10 years. And I went to UMass Boston and graduated from UMass Boston.
Cum laude.
Magna cum laude. And at this point, I now have 2 kids and an ex-husband. And I've just been plugging away, guys. I would be on my Credit Karma app, looking at my credit, looking at what I'm spending, just really trying to invest, pouring into my children, and just pushing. And sometimes it felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. And all of a sudden, my credit score is 700. Wait, my credit score is 750. Wait, my credit score is 800. Like, and these little things that just kept happening. And, you know, it's just to say that we just have to encourage one another. We need to be patient and kind with ourselves as we try to reach our goals. And a program like this, it's just been absolutely amazing. BHA, the FSS program, the home center, the first home, I mean, all of these things combined, and just not being scared to take opportunities just got me to a place where I'm like, wait, I got this money saved up. I did that. Wait, I've got, like, all the ducks were just lined up so perfectly. And my daughter said, Ma, go look at a house. I'm like, no, it's not time for that yet. She's like, just do it. I go to look at a house, and it was way out of my range. It was, and everything seamlessly happened, and it was just amazing. So I am just so thrilled, and I just hope you all just encourage each other to reach whatever goals that you have set, and seize programs, and just don't be afraid to take advantage of the opportunities that are available. And for all of the background people that work on policies, that work on like making these fundings available to folks, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, I know it's hard work, but proof that it can be a success. And Mayor Wu, thank you so much. You have been like an awesome mayor, and I respect you and honor you tremendously. So thank you.
Can we get one more big round of applause for Eva, Lisa, and Damali for sharing their stories? I'm Kenzie Bach. I'm the administrator of the Boston Housing Authority, and I'm just going to wrap us up today. I just want to express how much this event represents the fact that for us, those of us who do work in the background on the policy things, this is about you. It's about your families. It's about, as the mayor always says, making Boston a home for everyone. I tend to say a fairly competitive thing, which is that I think the Boston Housing Authority is the most important public institution in the city. And the reason that I say that is because it doesn't matter how beautiful we make the city if people cannot stay here. Because the reason that we are improving the city on every front, the mayor referenced them, the parks, the schools, the libraries, is for our people. And so we're really proud at the Housing Authority to provide so many units, both with public housing and vouchers, for folks to stay in the city on subsidy. But I will extend, I do think that this program, the Boston Home Center and the First Home program at BHA, are a part of that most important work in the city, because when I hear about each of you getting to keep your family here in Boston and also build wealth, and each of these homes are going to mean things for generations for each of your families. I'm just so impressed by everyone here and your resilience and commitment, and I also just, I think the hope that you symbolize for the whole city. I think that it's easy in one of the most expensive cities in the country for people to feel discouraged and like there's just no chance of staying here. And it is really hard, right? And that's why, from a policy perspective, we've really had to throw the kitchen sink at it. And the mayor just gets up every day and says, what more can we do? And this program, there's a piece of this program that's for BHA voucher holders and public housing residents. Sheila referenced the fact that just this year there's been 230 families from the whole city of Boston going through the home center. And then just about a year and a half ago, we had our first family close from the BHA First Home program. And in that year and a half, we've had 63 closings and 10 more are scheduled. So that's 73 families in about a year and a half, and all but 6 of those were in the city of Boston. So that's 67 families in the city of Boston. This is a program that's been so successful that just last month, the mayor proposed and the city council agreed to extend it with more funding from the American Rescue Plan, because it's just been so successful. And when we first proposed this program, this was part of the mayor's original proposal for the American Rescue Plan. People said, even with that little bit of down payment assistance that you're going to provide people and the dedicated staffing, like there's just no chance for people to buy in Boston. It's not going to work. So I am so glad that we proved them wrong. I am so glad that each of you guys proved folks wrong. And and it's just, yeah, it just makes me smile, and it's going to mean so much for the city, for each of those neighborhoods. I know I've talked to folks today who have bought in Hyde Park, have bought in Roslindale, have bought in Dorchester, bought in Roxbury, like all over East Boston, like each of these neighborhoods, they're going to be stronger for decades to come because you're there. And like the mayor said, we do expect you to be very involved. So please make sure that you're doing that. But yeah, just, and I just want to give a shout out also to on the Boston Housing Authority side, an amazing team of staff. You heard Brian's name, Nick, and then I know many of you know Megan Ryan, and Tessa Khan, some fantastic folks. And I think it's funny, Megan Ryan, who many of you know, just had a baby a few days ago, and Tessa had a baby back in June, and now our mayor is very pregnant, and I think there's something really to be said for like where does family and personal life and politics meet, and it really is about making the city a place that people can have their children and raise their children. And, even those very personal private homes, they're political in the sense that we have to make decisions together about what we're going to do from a policy perspective to make those happen. And that's something that Mayor Wu stands for and thinks about every day. And so just very, very grateful to her, to Chief Dillon, to the whole team, and most of all, to all of you. Congratulations, and please give yourselves another round of applause.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, give me something more. Ready, everybody?